Hello, sports fans. It is Monday, March the 27th, the year 2015. And as always, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Great to be back with you guys. Hope you guys had a terrific weekend, and I hope you watched some of these basketball games. The basketball was absolutely fabulous. Terrific games that went into overtime, came down to the wire. Really terrific stuff as we are ready for the Final Four from Indianapolis, which will start on Saturday. Championship game next Monday. It will be the Duke Blue Devils against the Michigan State Spartans, and it will be the Wisconsin Badgers against the Kentucky Wildcats. Two tremendous matchups. You got three number one seeds here. Should be some really exciting stuff. I thought the basketball over the weekend was tremendous. I have friends that don't like basketball. I have friends that don't like this tournament, and I always tell them, how could you possibly dislike this tournament? The drama, the excitement, the one-and-done format, the tremendous play. I mean, how could you possibly dislike this tournament? I mean, I guess that's the way the world goes. You know, some people like some things and some people like other things, and nobody likes the same things. But I am just stunned at some of my friends that they don't get into this tournament. I mean, it was so exciting. It was so riveting. The games came right down to the wire. Really, really good stuff. Let's go down to the South bracket and recap real quick. We'll start with the Sweet 16 matchups. Duke, of course, dispatched Utah, and then Gonzaga rolled over UCLA. That set up the Duke-Gonzaga matchup. This game was tight up until the 5-minute mark. Duke is up 2 points with about 5 minutes to go. Here's where the game changed. Gonzaga had an easy layup to tie the game. They blew the layup, and from there, the rest of the way, Duke outscored Gonzaga 13-1. Duke ends up winning by 14 points. Coach K gets to another Final Four. He's tied now with John Wooden for the most Final Fours ever. And Gonzaga, heartbroken again. They were right there again. They just cannot get over the hump. You really feel for Gonzaga and their fans. They built that program up so well. They just can't get to the Final Four. Remember a few years ago when Adam Morrison and that team should have beat UCLA and they collapsed? They don't get to the Final Four that year. And this was probably the best Gonzaga team we've seen in a while. And they fall just a little short. They were right there with 5 minutes to go. And that missed layup kind of turned the tide. And Duke pulled away at the end. So Gonzaga heartbroken again. Keep your head up, though, Gonzaga fans. Keep knocking on the door. You will get there eventually. Duke goes to another Final Four, and they will play the East winner, Michigan State. Michigan State and Tom Izzo do it again. I don't care what kind of seeding Michigan State gets. Tom Izzo is a brilliant coach, a brilliant tournament coach. If you watched Michigan State a couple months ago, you would have said there is no possible way this team gets to a Final Four. But I started to see things happening in that Big Ten tournament. They knocked off a good Maryland team. They had Wisconsin beat in the title game, let that game slip away. But you could kind of see Michigan State starting to come. And then this bracket really opened up for them with Villanova and Virginia going out. Bracket really opened up for Michigan State. Michigan State dispatched Oklahoma. Louisville beat NC State. That set up Michigan State against Louisville yesterday, which was a tremendous game. Louisville up 8 at the half. Michigan State comes roaring back. Louisville actually is down 1 with 4 seconds to go. They got 2 free throws that could potentially win the game. They only hit one of the 2. Michigan State misses a half-court shot at the buzzer. We go to overtime, and it is all Michigan State in the overtime, and Michigan State gets it done again. You got to give Louisville credit, though. Give Louisville and Rick Pitino credit. They were a hair away from going to the Final Four. And this is not one of Rick Pitino's better teams. They dismissed one of their better players. They have trouble scoring. And they almost got to the Final Four. Rick Pitino, another brilliant mind. He did a great job with this team. But again, Michigan State and Tom Izzo. And one more note on Louisville. This was the first time Louisville blew an 8-point lead at the half in I think 4 or 5 years. So nice comeback by Michigan State in the second half. And Tom Izzo and the Spartans. I mean, you can't say anything bad about this guy. He gets the most out of the teams he coaches. To me, that's the sign of a great coach. Getting the most out of what you have, and he always does it. This was not a Final Four team about 6 weeks ago, and every year Michigan State always finds a way to get there. So tremendous job by Michigan State. Michigan State Duke should be a really, really nice matchup. You got to favor Duke a little bit, but it should be a great matchup. Over to the West bracket we go, where Wisconsin gets out. They beat North Carolina. That was a tremendous game. North Carolina led a lot of that game. Wisconsin pulled away at the end. And then Arizona, of course, beat Xavier. That set up Wisconsin-Arizona. Arizona led by 3 at the half, but then Wisconsin got their game going in the second half. I'll tell you, I thought the Arizona coach did a bad job at the end of this game. 52 seconds left, Wisconsin up 5, they have the ball. To me, as soon as Wisconsin throws the ball in, Arizona has to foul, extend the game, preserve the time. Now, most likely you're not going to win the game anyway. You're down 5 there, but you got to give yourself the best shot. What does Arizona do? They let Wisconsin bleed the clock. Wisconsin runs the clock all the way down to 20 seconds, and they hit a 3 on top of it to go 8. The game is over. You cannot let Wisconsin take 32 seconds off the clock. I mean, even if Arizona got the rebound there off a miss, you're down 5 with less than 20 seconds to go. I don't like your chances there at all. You got to give yourself more time, give yourself more possessions. I thought Arizona and Miller did a terrible job not fouling there, but give Wisconsin credit. I mean, Kaminsky, we all love him. And how about Decker? How about this guy Decker with the shots he's making? He's hitting rainbow threes. I thought one of his shots was going to hit the top of the arena. That's how high it was. Hitting these bombs and confident about it. As soon as he's letting it go and it's like, this big rainbow shot, he's walking back like Larry Bird, like he made the shot already. Decker has been absolutely amazing. You got to love Wisconsin. Everyone likes Bo Ryan. And they will now play the Kentucky Wildcats. And we've said all year, if there's a team that maybe can give Kentucky trouble, it's Wisconsin. Kentucky, of course, rolled over West Virginia. I knew they were going to bury West Virginia. One of the West Virginia players was talking, saying Kentucky doesn't play hard. I was like, oh, no. You don't want to do that if you're playing Kentucky. Let the sleeping dragon lie. You don't want to wake up Kentucky. And Kentucky was motivated by that statement. They blew West Virginia right off the court. Notre Dame looked really good beating Wichita State. Remember, Notre Dame struggled in the first 2 rounds. Could have easily lost to Butler. Played very well against Wichita State. Won that game. That set up Kentucky-Notre Dame. This game was an absolute classic. Back and forth. Notre Dame led a lot of this game, but give Kentucky credit. Their big man Towns had a monster game. Kentucky hit some big free throws down the stretch, and Notre Dame, of course, misses the 3 with no time left that would have potentially won the game. Kentucky hangs on and wins by 2 points, but Notre Dame was right there. They had a shot to knock Kentucky out, and you got to wonder, was this the moment that, every team every year has a moment where, they're in danger. Was this Kentucky's moment? And now that they got through it, are they just going to run through this Final Four? Or are they vulnerable? They're playing a good Wisconsin team. Maybe they play, a good Duke team. I think Duke would give Kentucky more of a game than Michigan State, but still, you can't ever count out Izzo. So still 2 tough games for Kentucky. But did they get over the hump now beating Notre Dame? Was that their tough game? Every year, a big team, gets through that game. That's the game you always point to and say, oh, we could have lost this game. We got through. Now we're going to roll from here. Very interesting to see how Kentucky plays against Wisconsin, because we've been saying this all year. Wisconsin is one of the few teams that can give Kentucky trouble. So it's a very, very fascinating matchup. You should have 2 great games from Indianapolis on Saturday. I can't wait. I mean, Michigan State Duke is a solid game. 2 great coaches going at it. And then Kentucky against Wisconsin. The contrast in styles. I mean, you got to love this matchup. Kaminsky and Decker against the big size of Kentucky and all that talent. They go 10 deep. Should be tremendous, tremendous basketball. I cannot wait. Really looking forward to it. Like I said, the basketball over the weekend was absolutely tremendous. I hope you guys caught it. The games were riveting. The last 2 games, I mean, these final 8 games were absolutely great. They all came down to the end. You can't ask for anything more than that. So it was absolutely great basketball. I hope you guys caught it. So we are ready for the Final Four on Saturday. All right, you guys are all caught up. You guys, you have some hockey tonight, you have some NBA. Remember, we're coming down the home stretch in the NBA and the NHL to see who gets in. The NHL and the Eastern Conference, what a race between the Bruins and Ottawa. They keep going back and forth. In the West right now, the Kings are out of the playoffs. Remember, they won the Stanley Cup last year. And remember, they're battling in the NBA for those last spots too. So we're coming down the stretch in the NHL and the NBA. Teams got to make their move now. You also might want to check out some women's college basketball tonight. You got 2 Elite 8 games. You got UConn Wisconsin, who's absolutely tremendous in women's college basketball. They play Dayton. They should win that game. And then you have Tennessee against Maryland. That should be a tremendous game. By the way, Tennessee had a comeback for the ages the other day when they beat Gonzaga in the Sweet 16. Gonzaga was up 17 points with 6 minutes to go, and Tennessee rallied. So the Lady Vols with a great rally. So Gonzaga had their hearts broken in men's and women's basketball. Of course, South Carolina and Notre Dame on the women's side already in the Final Four. So you might want to check out some women's college basketball tonight as well. Okay, you guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. I will be back with you guys very, very soon. You guys enjoy the games tonight. Stay safe. Thanks for the support. I will talk to you very, very soon. We look forward to the Final Four. Have a great night. Talk to you soon. Take care.